Amanda Laura Bynes was born on April 3, 1986, and grew up in Thousand Oaks, California, the youngest of three children of Lynn, née Organ, a dental assistant and office manager, and Rick Bynes, a dentist. Family life in Ventura County was supportive of performance. Her father in particular encouraged his children to try comedy and acting, and Amanda took to it early. By the late 1990s, she was a fixture on Nickelodeon. Cast on the sketch series All That, she quickly stood out for fast timing and a clean, anchoring presence amid chaos. At 13, she headlined the spin-off, The Amanda Show, a star-making platform that paired kid-safe absurdism with an unmistakable sense that its lead already understood how to play to a room. From 2002 to 2006, she also led the WB sitcom, What I Like About You, proving she could carry a multi-camera show week after week. Feature films followed. Big Fat Liar, 2002. What a Girl Wants, 2003. She's the Man, 2006. Hairspray, 2007. Sydney White, 2007. And Easier, 2010. The run was commercially meaningful and culturally sticky, especially She's the Man, a teen-friendly, 12th Night, riff that drew warm notices, and Hairspray, part of a new wave of glossy movie musicals. With those titles, Bynes moved from kids' TV to mainstream stardom without losing the approachable persona that had made her so bankable. In 2010, Bynes stepped away from acting. Years later, she would explain that body image struggles and escalating substance use had hollowed out the joy of performing. In a candid 2018 Paper magazine interview, her first in years, she apologized for her erratic behavior during that period, detailed misuse of Adderall, and said she had been sober for several years and hoped to return to creative work on her own terms. The interview set the tone for how she has since chosen to speak about the past, directly, without self-pity, and with clear responsibility for what she could control. Those struggles had public flashpoints. In April 2012, Bynes was arrested in West Hollywood on suspicion of DUI after her vehicle struck a police car. The case did not end as a DUI. In February 2014, she pleaded no contest to a reduced misdemeanor, wet reckless, received 3 years probation and a 3-month alcohol education course, and paid fines. Separately, 2 misdemeanor hit-and-run cases stemming from incidents in April and August 2012 were dismissed in December 2012 following civil settlements with the other parties. These outcomes are part of the legal record and matter because they clarify how the criminal cases actually concluded. New York produced another headline in May 2013, when Bynes was arrested after building managers reported marijuana use, and police said she threw a bong from the 36th floor of her apartment. A Manhattan judge set the case on a path toward dismissal if she stayed out of trouble and attended counseling. On June 30, 2014, after she complied, the court dismissed and sealed the case. There was no conviction. For a story that has often been flattened by rumor, those procedural facts matter. As her health deteriorated in 2013, Bynes experienced psychiatric crisis, including a highly publicized incident involving a small fire on a driveway. Her parents sought, and a court granted, a conservatorship, giving them authority over medical and financial decisions. For nearly 9 years, that conservatorship structured her treatment and daily life. On March 22, 2022, a California judge terminated it, noting the progress she had made. Her parents supported ending the arrangement. The ruling formally recognized that the legal control once thought necessary was no longer justified. Education and craft returned as anchors. Bynes enrolled at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, FIDM, during her time away from Hollywood. In 2019, she graduated. sharing a cap-and-gown photo that signaled a steady, quieter rebuild. The choice fit. Even as a child performer, she had sketched and thought in textures. Fashion gave that impulse a channel that did not depend on celebrity. The end of the conservatorship did not mean the end of health challenges. In March 2023, Bynes called for help and was placed on a psychiatric hold in Los Angeles. A similar intervention occurred that June after she contacted police about self-harm concerns. These holds are medical measures, not criminal punishments, and they underscore that recovery often proceeds in loops rather than a straight line. Creatively, she has experimented with small, low-stakes ways to reconnect. In late 2023, she launched a conversational podcast with a friend but stepped back after one episode, saying she wanted to focus on getting a manicurist license and having a consistent job, not a relapse into the brittle visibility of celebrity. In 2024-25, she redirected energy toward fashion and fan engagement, collaborating on limited-run streetwear pieces that use her own artwork and, more recently, opening an account on OnlyFans, where she has said her aim is to talk with fans rather than post explicit content. The through line is control, choosing low-pressure formats and crafts where she can set the pace. To understand how startling her first act was, it helps to remember the range she demonstrated before age 25. On Nickelodeon, she juggled sketch characters with a composure rare for teen comics. In She's the Man, she played farce against earnestness without winking. In Hairspray, she found a series worth of beats for a shy, awakening character in a single film. Easy A, which turned out to be her last movie role to date, showed how sharp her instincts remained even as she was withdrawing from the work that had defined her childhood. But the second act, the hard one, has been about narrowing the circle. The legal record on the criminal side is concrete. A DUI arrest resolved as a reckless driving plea in probation. Hit-and-run cases dismissed after settlements. The New York marijuana and bond toss case dismissed and sealed after counseling and good behavior. No jail sentences emerged from those cases, and there is no standing criminal conviction tied to the New York incident. Those facts do not erase the harm of erratic driving or the fear that loved ones and strangers felt at the time. They do specify what the courts actually concluded. Today, more than a decade after she left acting, Bynes appears to be writing a smaller, steadier third act, finishing licenses and certifications, sketching and printing her own designs, answering fans directly, and declining the kind of comeback that would put her back in the machine that once ground her down. However long that takes and however often it needs to pause, the record to date is clear. She is living deliberately, not dramatically, with a legal past that has been resolved and a future measured in sustainable choices.